Hello.
Hi there.
What up, friends? You are listening to the Batwoman podcast, potentially here with us live. I am your host, OG Rachel, and I'm here. Do we have an echo? What up, friends? You are listening to the Batwoman
Yeah,
podcast.
like a delayed echo.
That's weird. Okay. Rachel.
Oh, this is creepy. I have it on the other screen.
Friends, you are
That's
listening
funny. Yeah, like a delayed echo.
This is like endless echo. Okay, I think I fixed it. That was my fault. Sorry. Okay, let me try to center myself on the screen so I don't look terrible for everyone. Hello, everybody. We are so glad that you are joining us here, whether you're with us live or you are listening to this later on. I'm your host, Rachel Eiley, and I'm here with my awesome co-hosts,
Mimi.
and
Amanda.
And we've reached our season finale that will, fingers crossed, not be a series finale because they have not renewed the show yet.
I really hope not. Like, it works as one, sort of, but no. I want more.
If Batwoman Legends don't get renewed, I'm going to be mad. Like, very, very mad.
Yeah, I keep hearing rumors that it's on the fence, and I'm just like, please, like...
CW, don't do this to me.
Please.
Honestly.
I don't have a lot of regular TV.
I know.
Right? Like, I don't watch a lot of CW anymore. This is, like, the one thing that I actually look forward to.
And, like, it was a bit of an up and down season, but, like, I really, really liked the last episode, so...
Yeah.
If we're ending now, I'm going to be mad. So. But yeah, I guess we can do our overall thoughts about the final episode. What did we all think?
I agree. I really liked it. I feel like it had a good tone. It did like a decent job of wrapping things up just in case they don't get renewed, because it would have been very annoying if they left us on like a cliffhanger and then didn't. Yeah, and I feel like it was very emotional. Like, it really did a good job with all the character arcs, and some of my issues that we had with the Alice storyline, I feel like it wrapped up in a way that wasn't making sense. So, Josie
wanted to say hi. She had feelings too.
She does.
Very cute. Yeah, no, I really liked it. I feel like they did a good job wrapping up all of the storylines, and I think they left like just enough of a cliffhanger without like actually not resolving any plot lines. Because Smallville would do it where they just like ended the finale like 5 minutes sooner than they should have, and just like left it there. It was the worst. I hated it so much.
Yeah, honestly, when Andy was like, "Oh my god, it's like the craziest ending," I was like, "Please, when we don't have season 4, don't like kill off a character or anything." And I'm glad that they didn't do anything wild like that. They kind of like left us in a place that I'll be happy if we don't get anymore. But
definitely, and our chat agrees that they don't like cliffhangers, and they think that we need to see Alice again. Which, yeah, that's a mood. Yeah, I was concerned for a minute. I was like, wait, are they writing Alice off? They're not writing Alice off. They're no. Okay, no. Concerned for a minute there, but no. Carolyn Dries seems to have confirmed in interviews that Alice is not being written off and will be around, so that is a relief because I do not want to be without Alice. Mimi.
Sorry about the Josie bean. A neighbor came home and she's like, "How dare they?"
No worries.
How dare neighbors come home? I do agree. I like the way Alice was like handled overall. Like, it felt like it's a nice little like, oh, we won't see them for a little bit,
right?
You know, but like I'd like to obviously still see her again. But I'm happy they wrote it the way they did for her, and I did like this finale a lot more than like last season. This felt much more like a finale for a season. Ideally, not a series, but like it still felt more solid.
Yeah,
definitely. So. Right.
Oh wow, we have lots of comments. I was looking at private chat. I was like, no one's here.
No, we do have some friends that have joined us. Thank you. Welcome, friends. So, we're glad that you're here to listen to us. So I just did one giant comment feed for our notes for tonight because I was like, they're basically together for the entire thing. So I don't think it would make sense to separate it into A, B, and C plots. So
That's how we used to do it anyway, so we got this.
The
It's
classics, you know. So. All right, so we bring up in the, I guess it's the reminder. Words are not working in my head. The recap, yeah, the recap that like it was Alice being like, oh, you know, I'll give you something where like the Joker would wish he were you, and that's when she told him about the Batcave. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense because that was super unclear.
Yeah, I'm glad they cleared that up.
I was confused, so I'm glad they cleared that up. But I might have said this last week, but I don't like the Joker, their Joker scene. I've watched the Tim Burton movies. I watched them all in college, and I'm just like, I hate this. I'm sorry, I just hate this.
Also, correct me if I'm wrong. Did Alice imply that Marcus like was crushing on the Joker? Is that?
Yeah, I think she said that. She called it like a man. So.
Do you know?
Yeah.
I mean, yep, it works for this show. But yeah, great music choices throughout the entire episode. They've been killing it this season with the music choices, and the beginning with Marcus like finding the acid bombs, and I'm like, the music was top notch. But I do have questions about the Joker supposedly telling Marcus his evil plan in like 3 seconds.
For no reason whatsoever.
It's like, hi, small child. Let me tell you my master plan.
I am hiding acid bombs in the House of Mirrors in this abandoned amusement park that have somehow gone undiscovered in the next 20 years, and I'm going to blow up Gotham with acid bombs. Haha.
Little baby Marcus is just like taking notes, like, all right, I've got this.
There it is.
Years later, like, all right.
His, to use their words there, his brains then get scrambled, and he just remembers all of that word for word.
Yep, that's how it goes.
Yes, but you know what? That works.
But now I'm picturing writing it down to be like for future evil plans, but in like childhood handwriting, like when the trauma eventually hits you.
Why not? Why not at this point? But I mean, I do think it's kind of funny that it took Ryan coming into his life for him to hit like peak evil. Like, if Ryan didn't come into his life, like, would any of this have happened?
Right? Yeah, that's another good question. Like,
it was kind of just like, guess I'm going to be a supervillain now. Sure, why not?
It's also like, I don't remember why exactly he snapped. Like, I know he snapped, but it's just like he beat up Pig because like he beat up Pig to save his mom, but also like violence, right?
Yeah, it was. I think they kind of like talked about it like being, well, his girlfriend got killed kind of in the Professor Pig episode, so
yeah,
maybe it's something to do with that, but you know, I don't know. Oh, my cat is meowing outside my door, so
all the animals have very strong opinions about the finale.
They do. So if you guys want to chat for a minute, I will be back.
Sure.
I'm going to check in on our comments. Hi, everybody, again. I do agree. If it did get picked up to HBO Max, it would probably get grittier because it's HBO.
I would love that. Like, I was thinking as we were talking about the soundtrack portion, if it was kind of more like Peacemaker and kind of like I feel like that's the only DC show that's really gone that route so far, but that would be really cool if we got that for the CW shows.
That'd be cool.
How is the Peacemaker show? I have not gotten to watch it yet.
I really liked it. I was like very impressed because I wasn't expecting anything going in, and I feel like they should give James Gunn more stuff in DC. Fingers crossed.
I mean, I feel like he's hit his vibe, so good for him. I have to agree with Rylan in the chat here. They say the number one cause of crime in Gotham is absent dad.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Very valid, honestly. You want to say hi? Come here.
Oh.
Baby.
Say hi.
Hello, Kitty.
No, put me down.
She's like, no paparazzi, please.
All right. I just copied another email we got into the notes. I am finding my spot again.
We're on the Alice part about how painful that was.
Oh my god. Okay. getting back into my hatred of their, like, you know, spotlighting electroconvulsive therapy, and just the scene that Mary comes in and she's got the, I guess Mary said it was like a socket wrench that she was trying to electrocute. It was
so strange.
Yeah.
And just why?
Yeah, and I'm not saying like this is a reason not to include things, but it did feel kind of triggering, not gonna lie. Just in general to people that are, struggling with mental health issues. It was a lot. It was really emotional, but I mean, I'm guessing that's what they were going for. So I guess that succeeded. But it was hard. But I think it was also kind of just gave the it gave Mary the push she needed to kind of like, go over and be like, no, you need to give Alice the joy buzzer. So
Yeah.
When someone in our chat and our friends Laundry Day said, "Who thinks Lucius is Ryan's dad?" and I was like, "Oh, that would be a plot twist."
I mean, I do remember hoping that Ryan and Luke would just low-key be siblings out of just the, like, that would be very cute.
It would be.
I feel like one secret brother might be enough, though. Like, we might be going overboard with more secret brothers.
Yeah, that would be a lot for sure.
Surprise!
I don't know. As long as they don't make it Bruce. One of the articles I sent link out to a couple articles right before we went live on the Twitter account. I think one of them asked about Ryan's dad, and Carolyn Dries basically said they haven't like determined it really, or haven't really given any hints as to who it is. So,
I mean, I wouldn't hate it if he was like totally irrelevant. I feel like the women of this series are so much more important that like not placing a lot of importance on him wouldn't be a problem.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they would do it because they need to feel like it would like legitimize Ryan somehow as like being worthy of it, and I don't want that. So.
Yeah, no, we don't need that.
Plus, like, she just started fixing things with Jada. I'd rather more of that.
Yeah, like that's fine. I don't need a dad added to this right now anyway. So
I do also appreciate that like Mary looked extra like take charge-y this episode. I'm like, good for you rocking those like leather pleather pants and like rocking the different hairstyle. Like you felt more pushed together. Not pushed together, put together.
Put together, yeah. She was kicking it. When she came in and she was like, "You told me I have a voice in this team, and this is me using my voice." I was like, "Yes, Mary."
Did you have like a really great moment like that with Jacob in like the season 2 finale too? Like I feel like Mary is just killing it every finale. We need more of that.
She was kicking so much ass, and I loved it. One of our friends in the comments said, if Bruce was Ryan's dad, then she and Alice would be cousins.
Oh God.
Oh no.
I feel like I don't need anyone else to be like secretly related. I'm good with all of them.
No, that's okay. I don't need to know that. That's fine. You can leave that. So. Yeah. So I've had a lot of feelings about the Joy Buster plot. I think that's an understatement. But I honestly really like how they wrapped it, and it was one of the other articles with Carolyn Dries. She was talking about how like they didn't want to give it to Alice in the end because they didn't want it to be like a magical fix for all of the stuff that all of her like mental issues, and like so if we're completely divorcing this from the fact that they just gave it to Marcus as a complete fix to all of his mental issues, we're just going to throw that completely out of the window and not pay attention to that right now. I really like that. So.
Yeah, I agree. I liked Alice's portion of that plot a lot, but I kind of hated where they went with Marcus. Although I'm glad we didn't get like a shock ending where he wasn't actually better either. Like I don't know what I wanted them to do with him, but
right. Yeah, I think in some of the articles, Carolyn Dries is also kind of saying they're like, oh well, we'll see if it sticks, and I was like, yeah, I don't want that.
Yeah, no.
Also,
I don't want Marcus 2.0 next season. That's just no, thank you.
The only thing I liked about the Joy Buzzer scene with Marcus was that the way they shot Alice giving it to Ryan, and then Ryan just slapping him on the side of the head. It just was a really good like cut, and the way they edited it, I was like, "Bravo, guys! That was such a good like."
It was quality. I enjoyed that entire scene. Honestly.
Next season, I just want Sophie to get a job. She has a job. It's sassy one-liners and looking fabulous all the time.
Yes.
But yeah, she does deserve money.
I think Ryan, once again, the head of Wayne Industries, is going to give her a job as like her personal, like secretary / bodyguard.
Bodyguard. I need the bodyguard trope because that'd be great.
Yeah.
That was a low key season 1 Legends of Tomorrow reference, but I'm not going to explain that further than that. Yes, Mary was fantastic, and just okay. So Marcus uses the Bat Tech to get all of his message out to Gotham and being like, go outside. I feel like 99% of Gotham would just be like, we do not know. You don't care.
Yeah, right.
You would just not care. So I feel like that would not work. But sure, why not? Also, there's 10 million people in Gotham.
That feels right.
That's a big city.
Yeah, I guess that feels right, but like we don't ever see it.
Yeah, I was just like, there's like 2 million people in Chicago. And it's the 3rd biggest city in the United States. So
true, yeah.
That's a lot of people, but
I think I shared it on my Facebook, but it was a funny post about why people don't leave Gotham, because it's like, well, at least Batman will handle the villains. Like, if you go to Metropolis, you get attacked by aliens, if you do all these other things. And I just was like, they make a good point there. It's like, well, the rent's probably super cheap.
Yeah, that's valid.
Given all the chaos that happens in Gotham all the time.
I'm going to drink water for a second, but I'll be back.
But, like, also I do agree with your Luke and Jada talking about his dad. Heart.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I cracked up at Jada just walking in. That was A+. I do actually. I've really appreciated Jada in the last couple episodes. She's just really been on par and like doing really good by Ryan for once. It just makes me happy. So.
I hope she sticks around.
Yes, I really hope we have Jada and reformed, no longer crazy Marcus as like season regulars. And like
that'd be nice. I want them to have family dinners to like redo what they didn't get to get this time around.
Yes.
And just normal scenes and like properly hanging out with Sophie. Like I want the gang. Like you don't need to have the full family to be a fleshed out person, but it would still be nice for Ryan to have that normalcy.
Yes, exactly. And one of the Carolyn Dries interviews was talking about how they just wanted this ending to like just be a pure win for Ryan, and I was like, yes, I love that. I want that so much.
Yeah.
Ryan to be happy. And it did kind of remind me of season 3 finale of Arrow in that way, which looking back, I'm like, there were obviously a lot of fallout from that season, but like towards the end of it, like just Oliver and Felicity just being happy, was like, that's the vibes it kind of gave me. So I like that. It made me happy. So, yeah. So. Yeah. Luke and Jada talking about his dad gave me lots of feelings. But the team being like, yeah, good question. Where is Ryan? Where did she go?
Sophie, you know where she went, right? Like, yes, let's make Sophie lie.
You know where she is.
They really need to get better at the whole like undercover lying thing as a team.
They do. They really do. But, Ryan referring to Mary as her best friend just gives me life, always. I will need to do that. So. Oh gosh, the Ryan and Alice scene was like, I was dying towards the beginning of it because Alice was just like going into the normal banter, and I was like, Alice, I feel like you're not getting into what you need to do right now.
No.
I'm just like, okay, but we're playing in it, and just like, Jada's got the hookup with the goods, and Sophie has a really good point that I'm like, Jada could have been a lot more helpful earlier than this in the season, but
would have been great.
Yeah.
I want to hope going forward she'll continue to be, because I like that she was helpful to Luke and just the team.
Yeah.
But also it was really funny watching the like bar get filled with all the tech equipment.
It was great. There were some really good like light comedy moments in the episode, and I appreciate that. So, for sure. Okay, so Alice said in her spiel about how she figured out the plan that the Joker was in Arkham, right? She said that?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we established first season that the Batman killed Joker.
She mentioned that like he was in Arkham at some point.
Okay.
It was like a loose, like sort of like I went up to all the people that dealt with the Joker, like all the long timer people, and like went up and were just like, hey, has the Joker told you crazy stuff?
So it wasn't like the Joker is currently in Arkham.
Yeah, no. I don't think so. I think it was just her tracking down other like long timers.
Honestly, I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like Bruce killed unalived Joker, and then yeah, pieced out because he was like, I did a bad thing.
Yeah, no, for sure. So I was like, I'm pretty sure we established that, but yeah, okay, that makes sense. But yeah, still a little lost on how Marcus got all of that information in a very short period of time, and then also, did he tell Alice that at some point, or did Alice put that together?
Yeah, I'm still kind of lost on the whole laughing gas, and now they suddenly know everything about each other deal, but yeah. I'm assuming there's a scene in there somewhere that we didn't see.
Yeah, for sure.
One of the comments said they'd like the 4th season to be more mob crimes. I'm always down for more mob vibes.
Yeah. Yes, that would be great. I would.
It's not like Gotham doesn't have enough mob, like that's fitting.
Yes, get me more like mob and less like drug dealers and gangs. I would appreciate that. I feel like season 2 is just all like drug dealers, and I'm like, maybe not, but okay. So yeah, no, Luke. I was just Luke when he said the bat. It took me a second. I was like, wait, no, he didn't just say blimp, right? That didn't happen. Oh boy, and then it comes on. It's got like the counter on the side and like the bad smiley faces, and I'm just like,
where was this all this time though? Like they just failed to mention that they had this.
I think Luke said it was like off an airstrip, but like I'm assuming he didn't tell anybody else about it.
I mean, I can't imagine it would be super useful for a lot of what they've been doing, but like
I can't tell if it's like also secretly like an Adam West like Batman like my brain feels like it's a reference.
Yeah,
probably.
But
I could see that. But
yeah,
it was good. It was very campy and corny and good, and I appreciated it. So I do like that they are kind of marrying the campy and the corny Batman into the the more darker moments, and I'm like, that's that's a good vibe. I like that. Yeah, but if I saw the Batwoman flying over my city, I would definitely be like, okay, well now I'm going inside.
Yep.
Right.
That's not supposed to do that. So. And then Ryan had her "No one dies today" moment, and I was like, okay, so we're just like channeling some Ninth Doctor. I like that.
Good job.
It was good. It was a good moment. But... Okay, so them DNA locking the Bat Trophies room with Batwoman's DNA and not like the weapons or anything. I was like,
yeah.
Also, like, when exactly did they do that? Because I feel like they got locked out of Wayne Towers like kind of unexpectedly. So
yeah.
Ooh,
according to the chat, Batman in the animated series introduced blimps watching over Gotham because it felt otherworldly. I can't word.
Yeah, I do think it's been mentioned in Batman canon previous to that. But, so
what do you mean only 25 blimps currently exist? What?
That's wild.
I'm intrigued.
Sorry.
That was a fun fact that I did not know.
Thank you.
I mean, if there are like 25 in the world, I would believe that Bruce Wayne had one. So
yes,
yeah, that tracks. Honestly,
Tony Stark probably has the other one. Bring us the Iron Man blimp.
Probably, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that shows up in the next Spider-Man movie. So.
Spider blimp.
That's what we need. Iron
Spider. So tacky. I'd love it.
Right. Oh gosh. But yeah, no, Jada, when Ryan gets back to the bar and like Jada's interactions with her were so excellent, top tier, and I'm just like, yes, give me this Jada going forward. That is in fact what I want.
Mm-hmm.
Please. Give me that Ryan and Jada interactions and just Ryan to feel, because like this is what I wanted from the season. I wanted Ryan to like be happy and feel loved and have a family, and just getting that at the end was very heartwarming. I really enjoyed it and appreciated it. So thank you for that, Batwoman writers. I appreciate it. Then Marcus is flying around in the blanket. I'm like, that's clearly the Chicago skyline. Okay. Like, I mean, I guess most people don't have like innate knowledge of how much the Chicago skyline looks like than people who live in Chicago, but I'm just like, I can't get past that. I'm sorry.
Also, your comment about the CEO.
Yeah, Yeah, Marcus is like, you can fire me. You can't fire me. And I'm like, I think that they can in fact fire you, especially with the DOJ. I'm not sure how Jada had the DOJ on speed dial or how exactly she got that to happen. But,
You know, money.
I mean, she did. That is how that works. So, you know, why not?
I also feel like Jada has just an obscene amount of connections that they're just like, now anytime they need something, it should be like, Jada knows them. Why? Jada knows them. Just no other. It's like,
yeah, that's my one concern for bringing her on for like more seasons. Like now they're just going to be able to use her for anything. Like something goes wrong, Jada. That's it. Done.
Honestly, like that's just what they're going with. But I do have questions about how Jada pulled all of that off without like the video or any actual proof. It was just like allegations. So, which I mean, I guess if we're going with one theory, allegations do have a lot of power and they can ruin things. But I don't know. I just have questions, but you know that's on brand for me. So, shooting inside a blimp, probably a bad idea.
yeah.
It's not like exactly the same as like a plane, I'm guessing, with like losing pressure, but I felt like that was not a good plan.
It was
Where he
worrisome.
goes on, he like shoots the TV and then he like shoots his pilot and like shoots the comm and the controls, and I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, if you like shot the controls and fried the computer, I'm like, wouldn't the blimp just crash?
Yeah, you would think.
I feel like that's what would happen, but you know, they're just like, well, I guess it's just gonna keep circling now. I'm like,
just got to do it for the drama.
I mean, I guess.
Now I'm picturing it going in a circle.
Oh my god.
I mean, it does definitely. That's a funny image. It does definitely show Marcus as being like unhinged and just being like, I'm gonna shoot you now, and I'm gonna shoot my blimp because I'm crazy. So I'm like, yeah. Okay, sure, why not?
I will say I really appreciated Nick Regan. That's great, right? Like his acting this whole episode was
it was phenomenal. As feelings as I might have about Marcus and his role in the show this season, he's been killing it as an actor, so I definitely appreciate that.
Even the Joker laugh, like I know we're all done with the Joker, but even the laugh, I'm like, yes, you got this.
Yes, definitely. Enjoyable, but okay, so Mary's in the Batcave and Luke is like telling her how to do the thing, and they have like the banter going on, and Luke is like, I miss this, and Mary's like, what? And he's like, us. And I'm like, stop.
Yeah, I need them. I need season 4 because Luke and Mary still aren't together yet.
Yeah.
So
honestly, that's my number one thing for season 4. That's what I need. I need Luke and Mary. So that's what we're so confident that that's what we were gonna get this season.
Yep. We were like, oh, it's totally gonna happen. And it was like, surprise.
We did established romance. It was just not the one that we were thinking of.
Yep.
So. You know what? That's okay though. I love Wildmore and I love Ryan and Sophie together, so you know what? We can go with that.
Not gonna lie, that last scene with the champagne, I was kind of hoping like they would just tease Luke and Mary though, and it would just be like a cute double date. I was like, please.
I need it. We're really cute.
Leave it on this.
We got a silhouetted animator in the chat says, what if Marcus's Joker remnants exist still because become a heroic Joker character like the Creeper? That would be interesting. I feel like that might be a bit much if they're also doing Red Alice, which, I mean, remains to be seen if they will be doing Red Alice, but I think that would kind of be a bit much to also have that with the same, like, you know, former reformed thing, but yeah, maybe. Yes.
I will say we don't really get that from Jokers a lot, like on TV and in movies, so that would be very interesting to
see. It would definitely be a different take, which, you know, we've had lots of repeated takes of the Joker, so.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, Wildmore Sophie. I loved how much Sophie was like playing into the plot here and not just like being useless and like really establishing herself as part of the team and like coming up with the umbrella and being like, no, don't cut wires in the bombs and stuff. Yeah. So.
I do also like how she helped record their own proper message of how to like get everyone underground. That was so smart.
Yes, that was great. I enjoyed that. I'm like low-key, I'm like, I know we're working in the universe of Batman's rogues and everything, but like an umbrella that actually has hypnotic powers.
But also I like imagining they just stood there like spinning the umbrella around, recording the audio.
seriously? Like, spin, go inside, await instructions, spin.
Well, like, I'm happy that worked. I was worried that wasn't going to work.
Yes. So I think that is I think that was a good use of the camp and like, you know, marrying the campy with their creepy. So I can get on board with that. Yeah. I'm just every time they shot inside the blimp, I was like, would it not just drop out of the sky?
Yeah.
No longer be a blimp. But no. Ryan's like, oh yeah, I guess that's not gonna work. So I guess I'm just gonna, you know, use my grappling hook to get into the blimp now.
Yep.
So,
Right.
Legit.
yeah. So I'm like, you know what, that's one way to do things. So, you know what, why not? Why sharp? And then she's in the blimp and she's like having banter with Sophie, and I'm like, guys, please stop, girls, let me live. I'm dying here. Then Ryan and Marcus are having their showdown, and Marcus like honestly thinks this is all about Jada. I'm like, dude, I don't think she cares that much.
Yeah.
Like, maybe that's what made him snap. I know we asked that before. Like, I don't know. The
Yeah.
competition of having his mother care about someone else.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm like, that honestly might be it, though, because like, it was just too much for him, I guess.
Like, maybe he's projecting onto Ryan with that.
Yeah.
I guess he just, I don't know, maybe he like felt that Jada never really appreciated him because she was trying to fix him, which,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think I can blame her if he were being unhinged and killing people, but, you know. Yes, they're doing their showdown though. I enjoyed that. That was good. But I was like, it's really not about Jada. It's about like not killing a bunch of people. But,
Yeah.
great music choice. I was like, Ryan, did you really think you fixed Marcus by punching him in the face a few times?
Like, A for effort, girl. Like, you had to get that out of you, but
You're trying.
I feel like this whole episode was just like last resorts for Ryan. Like, what can I do? I grappling hook, punch in the face, whatever works.
I'm just like, oh, okay. But then, yeah, no, Ryan dropping out of the blimp and then using the grappling hook to like get Marcus and pulling him out with him. That was peak comedy. Okay,
it was really good and chaotic.
That was wonderful. Thank you for that. I personally enjoyed it.
But also, like, I like the way they did it because then it was her getting to use the like parachute, but also my brain's like, but she can also use the capey thing to also kind of fly herself, given what we had in season 2. But whatever, this is still good and dramatic. I like it.
yeah, for sure. It was good. But then, Sophie's like low-key panicking, and Ryan's just like, well, I'm not going to die before you buy me dinner. It was so in character for Ryan to just like make it a light moment, and I'm like,
yeah.
Perfect.
All of their banter was so cute.
It was. It was good.
I just thought of a scene I want for them to have dinner. I want them to go back to that like schmucky Italian place from season 1.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
You know, like full circle. Like I wanted them to go back, but like dressed to the nines.
Yes, I need a line of them being like, "Oh, we're under new ownership." Like, cheers, girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me that, please. That would be like the ultimate show of growth for this show, honestly.
It would be.
Yes. Rylan in the chat says, it's not about your mommy issues, Marcus. It's about the threatened genocide. And yeah. That's
Sorry,
it.
Marcus.
I loved Luke being here to save the day and just being like, you know, saving and do the thing. It's just very encore for him and very much of like the journey that I wanted for him this year. So
yeah. I do wish we got more of the journey. Like, I like what we got in the end, but I kind of wish we had more time to like spend with Luke this season.
Yeah,
definitely. I would have liked, you know, he was kind of patchy, honestly. Like, it was like, oh, PTSD, but then, you know, doing better and then not, and it didn't feel very consistent or like, you know, well thought out. Kind of, it just felt
Yeah, it kind of felt like the beginning and the end of a character arc, and they kind of just like skipped the whole middle portion, which I'm happy with both, but I wish we had the middle.
I think just they kind of ended up focusing on Mary for most of the middle of the season, and then they're like, oops, we're out of episodes.
I also get worried every time Luke still takes his helmet off to do something. I'm like, buddy, Please wear contacts or something. Like, please,
Yes.
bud.
Just get like one of those dollar store masks you had in that one episode, please.
Yeah.
Yep, something.
Please. Ryan and Marcus are fighting it out, and Alice is just showing up in the nick of time. I'm like, oh, hey, I'm here. Here's the joy buzzer.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I guess you're out of Arkham. Like, it's
Perfect. I'm like, okay. I mean, I'm guessing you pulled some strings, but if that works. So, yeah. So, okay, yeah. They were like, oh, let's blow it up over the city's most desolate area. I was like, I'm getting some like hardcore Arrow, like the Glades feelings here. And like that's definitely going to be what is the basis of next season, because I'm not entertaining, just for the record, I'm not entertaining the idea that we're not getting a next season. We're getting a next season.
Yeah.
I hope so.
It's happening, but
we better.
Yeah.
And that between and the end of the episode hook, that's definitely where they're going. They're like, oh, you know, and that's pretty classic Arrowverse. They're like, oh, you know, I feel like they did that in Legends like 6 times over. them being like, oh, the thing you did to save the world last time created your whole new arc for this season. So
yeah, it's fine.
That works. Yeah, no, I was legitimately crying at Luke's interactions with his dad AI, and like it was super sad, but I also felt like it wasn't something that they should have like dragged on for too long. So I'm kind of glad they did like bring it into it, and like I felt like it was a very good ending. So it made me happy.
Panicked a little bit when I saw the thing explode. I was like, where is Luke?
Yeah.
Well, it's like Mimi messaged me and she was like, if we leave him with like not knowing if Luke survived, like I'm gonna be pissed. I was like,
yeah,
so mad. So
that was the cliffhanger I was worried about. So I'm glad we did not get that.
Yes. Also, gotta say, when Luke did his dramatic landing with the cute little kid, I was very worried they were gonna do some weird like, it's actually Marcus. I was very worried.
I thought that creepy little children, like every time I'm just like, something's gonna happen.
I don't know how, but my brain was like, please don't.
That would have been something.
I was scared.
Been something.
Concerned Marcus maybe like wrote some instructions in Crayola for him and was gonna be like, you do the Joker's plan.
Like, you know what? Why not? So. Okay. All right.
Oh. But also, Luke asking who he is.
I know, and he got the call me that way moment. I was like, that's actually the only way to establish your hero name in the Arrowverse. That's the only way to do it.
Telling a small child.
Yes.
Season 2 of Arrow, they're like, who is that? And Laura's like, that's the canary.
Yeah.
Drama. So, yeah. They have Marcus, and they're like, well, we'll have to wait until he wakes up to see if the buzzer worked. And I was like, well, I really hope the buzzer worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, for all that.
I have everything riding on that right now. So,
nope.
Yeah, and they just had him laying there, like no handcuffs or anything. I was like, if it didn't work, you guys are going to be in for a problem.
Again.
Yep, for sure. So, okay. But yeah, no, then he wakes up and I'm like, all right, good. Just good. This works. We're not going to have any regression here. We're just going to work with it. So.
I was very anxious that whole scene. Like, it was such a sweet, wholesome moment, but I was just like waiting for him to do something that was like, he's still the Joker.
No Joker. No, thank you. I do not want. So
yeah, I don't need this.
Yeah. Then Alice is off to find herself, and she's getting out of those damn subway tunnels. And Mary's like, "Good for you, Beth." And I was like,
also, I liked how she was angry about the knife stab. I was like, no, that's on brand. Like,
yeah, that was on brand.
Well, see Sophie and Ryan's cute moment.
Oh my god, I love them.
I love them so much. They really did. They did such a good job, and I love how much everybody really like loves them, and they brought it together, and they have a really good fan base now. That just makes me happy. So
yeah,
I want all the things for them. But then Mary's like walking in, they're like, "This is going to keep happening, isn't it?" I'm like, "Yes, it is. It is going to keep happening." So.
Also, like, I love the way that Mary's like, I got champagne, like, brings out the alcohol, and then it's like, no, we gotta have a serious moment. And she's just, like, still gonna hold on to the booze. Like,
I'll bring it with me.
I'm just gonna hold this.
Relatable.
Yep.
Yep, Ryan and her team, they're just having a happy moment. And it's like, yes, give me all of the happy moments, please.
I'm gonna need some like Ryan and Sophie walking in on Mary and Luke making out next season,
Please.
though. I'm just saying,
Yes.
reverse
Please do
this,
that to me.
please.
Please. I want that. I would like that. So. Yeah. And then we have the last scene of the hook of the episode, which is just like a major yikes. And I'm like, yeah, that's on brand. So
Yeah.
I think they asked about it in one of the articles, and Carolyn Dries is like, well, I'm not saying if we have an idea of who it is yet, or who, if we do have an idea, who we have an idea if it is. And I was like, that's confusing, but okay. So basically, we're getting no hints, is what I'm getting for now.
Yeah.
It just, it looks like, I obviously have zero ideas of like horror movie characters because that's not like my thing. But it was giving like Freddy Krueger vibes, I think, with like the knives, hands.
It worries me.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
I'm intrigued, but like, yeah, a little worried too.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. It'll be interesting. But yeah. We have some memes. I was trying to see if there was a way to like post them in the chat, but I don't think there is.
Would it be sharing the screen, maybe?
Oh yeah, I think that would work. Let me see if I could figure out how to do that.
My whole thing with the like weird potentially zombie and or corpsey thing, I just was like, oh no, is this gonna just be like bad? Just I don't know. I was just very worried.
Yeah, for sure. That was.
What if we get Mr. Bones next season? Who's Mr. Bones?
Yeah, I was like looking up who it could be, and I didn't know any of the characters, but they all sounded intriguing.
Yeah, we had a few suggestions. One of them was Mr. Bones. One of them was Solomon Grundy. I'm also sharing my screen in case you didn't notice.
I would like Clayface.
Some memes from you, Rachel. Yeah, Clayface would be good. Sophie and Ryan kissing in the live slug reaction in the corner.
Same.
Yeah. And of course, as always, for the those joining us by the podcast, these will be posted in the Twitter account, so you can look at them. So this is exactly what happened, honestly. SpongeBob and Patrick as the Bat Team, and like, we did it, Patrick. We saved the city. The new toxic part of Gotham we aren't going to talk about for now. That's valid. That's very valid.
Yes.
Yes. Ninth Doctor, just for once, right in the finale. Everybody loves.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm happy. Okay. Yeah, okay. I just described what 3 means. Do you guys want to describe this one?
It's the little like star certificate, and it's like, congratulations, presented to Beth, formerly Alice Kane, for overcoming her trauma without the joy buzzer and needing to hurt herself. You did it, March 2022. The Bat Team and Batwoman fandom.
Yes, it's true. This is where we're at. So you know what? That works. I'm good with that.
Amanda, do you want to do the next one?
So it's the Fairly Odd Parents meme where this is where I'd put, I think it's a trophy if I had one. And this is where I'd put Batwoman season 4 if I had one. We have one. I'm with Rachel. We're not even acknowledging that this hasn't been renewed. It's done.
We're not putting that as a possibility that it's not going to get renewed. It will.
Manifested. It's renewed.
Yes. So. And New Rachel had a note. She said, also, if I'm not on the live stream, since I might be watching the Batman at the time, I guess that's what you're doing. So, congrats. If Rachel Carson is coming back next season, my pitch is that she isn't for the first half of the season, but shows up in the end of the mid-season finale as Red Alice, telling the Bat Team that she had to run in with the religion of crime, that she needs their help. That'd be good.
I would like that.
I would like that. All right, friends. Let's see. We had one other email from Rylan, who is joining us in our chat. The email was titled, I don't like Marcus, the 5-paragraph essay. Which is very on brand, because that's also how I communicate these things. I would also write a 5-paragraph essay. So we can read that. We will trade off. I will start the first paragraph.
Okay.
It says, the comic book industry has always centered men. Batman, Superman, Iron Man, Spider-Man, nearly all the household superheroes are dudes. This is for a shit ton of reasons. Women not being given jobs behind the scenes, the overall centering of the male gaze, etc. As a result of this, the handful of female superheroes we get, more often than not, tend to be legacies or expansions of the universe already established by a popular male hero. Yeah, that's valid. These universes are simply more marketable to a mainstream audience, and they're all started by men because centering female characters are, unfortunately, the expiation to the rule. Women were simply not given the opportunity to pioneer their own franchise.
I can pick the next one.
Go for it.
Despite all this, female heroes have developed unique stories of their own, gaining fandoms because they are compelling and interesting, yet when they are adapted to the screen, consistently that history is erased in favor of borrowing from their male counterparts. It's ridiculous. I watched it happen in real time with Supergirl, as a show that started centering Supergirl's history slowly devolved into the Lex Luthor show, and Kara was pushed to the sidelines in favor of letting John Cryer, am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Monologue to the camera. Their history of female superheroes isn't considered marketable because no one lets that history be told. Before the Iron Man movies, Tony Stark was a C-tier hero that Marvel only had the rights to because he couldn't be sold for a large sum. The Iron Man movies exposed more people to the character, cultivated a fan base around him, and now he's the face of one of the largest movie franchises of all time. Previously niche characters can become phenomena when you simply expose them to a wider audience, but female heroes are never allowed to have movies or TV shows or Broadway musicals because our society centers male creators and the stories of men.
I'll read the next one. But sometimes you get the opportunity to tell these female-led stories. It's great that we've seen an increase in female-led superhero projects. It's really important. But when you get a chance to tell their stories, I cannot stress how important it is not to draw from what male heroes have already made popular. So many times, stories of other heroes are twisted to fit another hero's narrative, and when inevitably done poorly, sexists will use it as an example of why women heroes shouldn't be adapted to the big screen. Because they are treated as simply a female version of another hero by the creators, this is all the people look for it looking for it will see, and this is and that. Sorry, I'm gonna make the screen a little bigger on my end because I am glitching.
No worries.
I keep zooming out. That's on me.
Yeah, my face was like in the camera reading that.
Because they're treated as simply a female version of another hero by the creators, that is all the people looking for it will see, and that is all they'll think women heroes can be. Even when done well, it defeats the entire purpose of having a show centered around a female hero, to center her history, her side characters, her growth, and her villains. When these projects don't draw on the heroine's history, the best possible outcome is blistering an already known and loved canon, but not associated with the heroine. It robs female characters of the opportunity to cultivate a fandom, and thus their stories remain, in the eyes of producers, unmarketable. It's a vicious cycle.
So when I see a show like Batwoman featuring a mainly black and queer cast that goes out of its way to address minority issues, I expected better. I know I shouldn't, the world sucks, but with the queer writing room, the praises and publicity it gets from organizations like GLAAD, and the sheer amount of social topics it addresses and expects to be given a fucking cookie for, the least I can fucking ask for in this show is to center the stories. Sorry, I'm looking at the timestamp to make sure I know when to bleep those out. As for their show to center the stories of those minority characters, but apparently that's too much to ask for. There are lots of things I can criticize the show for: the hyperfixation on queer and black trauma, the constant use of mental illness parallels to psychopathy, and BPD painted as inherently evil, but this one stinks the most. Because I came to the show wanting to learn about Batwoman, all her wacky adventures show through the lens of the baddest, queer, Jewish experience. Not that I don't love Ryan, she's amazing, but like, come on, CW, why are you so afraid of Jewish rap? Point. But all I'm seeing right now is the CW becoming pissy that they don't get the rights to a Batman show. They never wanted to tell their story. That much has become clear to me. Yeah.
So yeah, Batwoman doesn't need a Joker. She never did. Stop trying to bring in Bruce Wayne or Jack Napier. I promise Batwoman stories are strong enough on their own. You don't need to keep reminding us Batman exists. That's not why I'm here. I'm here for Batwoman. It's in her name. It's in the title. Stop erasing history.
Yeah.
And
oh yeah.
TLDR, F off Marcus, you're annoying.
Yeah. That's very valid, honestly. I agree. I would love to really have just a season that focused primarily on Batwoman and her villains, because there's plenty of them in the comics and everything. And I just, I want Ryan to have a show that's primarily about her and not just, doing callbacks to Batman all the time. So
yeah.
Thanks, Rylan. That was really good thoughts.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
I can start off our tweets.
Yes, go for it.
From Brian Schufo, aka Enemy of the Shoe. good finale. Lots of nods to the Michael Keaton Batman movies, and a good WTF was that cliffhanger ending of some zombie survivor. They need that extra layer of security to protect the Condiment King's gun from falling into the hands of the scary clown, Ronald McDonald. Imagine the damage he could do.
Yeah, that is very scary. And New Rachel said, "Are we getting Red Alice?" Which, I mean, I hope so. I really hope that's where we're heading. But
Mark Bickford says, "Not buying Marcus's cure, plus he was too good a villain to give up. I'm hoping Alice comes back as Vigilante Red Alice, and for the return of Stephanie in season 4, have a great show." I agree. I mean, I don't really want him to be like, surprise, I'm still the Joker, but it's consistently my complaint about Batwoman. I wish that they like spent more time on each villain, and I think they could have done that with him as well.
Yeah. I would like, I would like an interesting plot for him next season, not for, everything to be sunshine and roses, but him to, like have a struggle going back and like trying to rebuild, and like I won't want them to like harp on guilt too much, but like for him to, have to deal with what he, did and like that kind of stuff and rebuild. I think that would be good. So And Carlin said, this was in relation to Alice. This is, I am sobbing, effing breaking down. Why? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then about, we had a few thoughts about who the end was. Joseph Snow said, maybe Solomon Grundy. Mark Bickford agreed. And Brian Chiefwood said, Mr. Bones. So, and then Ryland said, I don't know and I don't care. Why didn't Alice get a hug? Yeah.
Ask them the real questions.
So, yeah. All right. So we had a few post-season thoughts. In one of the articles, Carolyn Dries is talking about Sophie and Ryan as like the enemies to lovers trope, which just made me think, I was like, is this, were you just reading fan fiction and that's how you got here?
I mean, I'm a sucker for that trope, but
yeah.
Like I would not be sad if that's how that happened. So.
Yeah.
It's also like, yeah, I do understand they were technically speaking enemies to lovers. So yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. I may want to at some point go back and rewatch season 2 just to like look at their growth and like particularly them.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Maybe one of our episodes for the interim between season 3 and 4.
Yeah, we'll definitely be doing at least one a month. So we have time to have some good episodes.
Apparently.
Yeah.
So, and then I also wanted to just chat quickly about like Jada and Marcus as potentially like season regulars and like them being folded into the Bat team. And I think that'd be interesting. I think we got a little like idea of how that would work with Jada at the end of her like helping the team with stuff, which I thought that was really entertaining, honestly. So I would like that. And,
like they could also bring Diggle in, and I would not complain.
That would be good. I would enjoy that personally. So. Oh yeah, and that was one of the other things I wanted to bring up. This is the TV Line article I'm looking at. Curly Dress, they were talking about the possibility of seeing Poison Ivy, and apparently they only got permission to have her as a character for 3 episodes.
Oh,
interesting. Okay.
It was like, at first I was like, well, it's kind of weird that like you only had that, but you had for Renee. But then I remembered like Renee is not normally canon with Ivy. That's not what it's doing. So, and she's actually more of a big old Batman character. So I was like, okay, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
I guess we're not seeing any more of her, but
I wonder if that means we're seeing her in like future DC projects elsewhere. Maybe.
Yeah, possibly.
I mean, Margot's consistently vocal about wanting Ivy as a love interest for Harley, so it's like that's kind of my hope is that we'll get that way.
I hope so. That would be really good. So
I am sad that they built so much of it being like Poison Ivy's in this season, and now I'm like, oh, now that makes sense though. If it's only because you had the rights for 3 seasons, like okay,
yeah.
I mean, it also makes sense how they like built things with Mary as like having her like having Poison Ivy, but not like really Poison Ivy. So like kind of make it a bigger arc. So
I do kind of wish we left off with like Renee and Ivy in separate areas though, because I want more Renee. If we could have had more.
That's why I hope we get like a, I don't know, like Renee comes back and like needs our help for like an episode or 2. Renee was so good, and I miss her.
I want the Renee question arc. That's what I want.
Yes.
And I keep feeling like they're like, maybe, and they're like, never mind. And I'm like, please, come on.
Yes. And to be fair, one of the other things that Carolyn Dries was saying in the interviews is we ragged on her for last season for being like, oh, we couldn't have any queer female intimacy because COVID. And they did deliver on the queer female intimacy this season. So I will give them credit for that. I think, you could have probably had it last season too. But.
Significantly less Alice and Ocean, which,
Yes. Which she only made one appearance this season. So I'm like, I can live with that,
Yeah.
But we got, as the article put it, we got Sophie and Montoya briefly. But then Sophie and Ryan and Poison Ivy and Montoya. So
yeah.
I am happy with that.
Same.
And yeah. All right. Just taking a look at the teaser or the articles and seeing if there's anything else I want to bring in. We're talking about, Robin Givens being main character next season potentially. So
I was looking at Batwoman villains, and apparently Morgan Le Fay, like Arthurian Legends Morgan Le Fay, is a villain for Batwoman at points. And I was like, I kind of really want to see Ryan deal with magic, just be like, excuse me,
right?
Like
yeah,
that would be interesting.
But also, I would love some more like medieval style villains, just because of how chaotic that would be.
Yes.
Not that I need more magic in the shows, but just I want to have them deal with a guy in a suit of armor. Like, please. That'd just be really fun to be like, oh no, the bullets don't work. Like,
Yeah.
That'd be good.
The batarangs just clink off of it. Like, come on, just like, ding. Now what?
Women writers, put Mimi on your team, please.
Thank
you for season 4, which we are getting.
Thanks.
Oh, goodness. All right. Well, the chat says Nocturna Who is a vampire who would be good for next season.
I thought we used her in...
Do we use her in the first season? Yeah.
Yeah. She was the not vampire.
Yeah, that's what I thought. The problem with Sophie and Ryan is it seems that Sophie's kink is every Batwoman. I'm like, I don't hate it, but yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Sophie definitely has a leather kink, yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
Somebody said Santa Claus was also a DC character. I would love like a Christmas themed episode just with that as like villain of the week.
That would be great. As long as we get a line of Alice being like, okay, but I'm Jewish.
Yes,
oh my god,
please.
yes.
Just be like, walks in with menorah, what? And they're like, yeah, all right.
The once a season Jewish reference, which we got this year, was a Jewish star on the back of a headstone.
Yep, keeping the bar low for that. But also, I would love a holiday episode. That would be very nice.
Yeah, something like Sophie and Ryan giving each other presents and being cute.
I would like a cheesy Valentine's Day episode. Like, Valentine's Day is a commercialized holiday and is useless, an excuse to buy chocolate, but I would like to see them panic over, like, what do we buy each other?
Oh my god, yes.
That would be so cute.
They buy each other the same sweater.
I feel like at least one of them would go to Mary for advice and have like all these crazy things thrown at them by Mary.
I picture them going to Luke and he'd be like, I don't know, get them a sweater, and then they both get a sweater.
Oh my god, yeah.
And then Mary's like, no, get them booze. So they each get similar things, but
that would be perfect. Yes, we can definitely talk about what villains we'd like to see next year over the summer and our season 3.5 episodes. Wow, we're really getting there. So that will be very exciting, I'm sure. And yeah, what else? If you guys have thoughts about what you'd like to see us chat about in those episodes, bring them to the chat, tweet us, go for it. We would love to hear it. We'd love to see it. So let us know.
Rylan did ask though.
Or I was just reading Rylan said in the chat, is Alice still religious? Does she remember she's supposed to be Jewish? Who knows? Yep.
Personally, I would like it that when she came back, she would be more Jewish. It would fit to the running vibe of like people do tend to leave their Judaism and then like come back to it. I say this as someone who frequently like grew up not caring for it, and now in my later life is invested in my Judaism. So that would be kind of cute.
That would be.
Saying.
I like that a lot.
That'd be kind of cute. Because then they'd be like, "Oh, hey, that thing we messed up on, we're finally fixing it in season 4." Like that would be nice.
Come on, Batwoman writers, bring it to me. All right. Well, we're just at a bit over an hour, so think that's probably going to be it for us for tonight. Do you guys want to talk about your personal your personal legends, your personal social media, and any other projects you'd like to plug? Yes, Kitty, I know you're still here.
She has a project that she would like to plug.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. It's called Chaos in My Apartment at all times.
I can go first. So you can find me on Twitter and Instagram. Twitter is Peaks and Pages, and Instagram is Charmanda. And yeah, I don't have any projects to plug currently. Also chaos in my apartment at all times, I guess.
It's the millennial way.
Yeah.
You can find me on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram at Morganstein17. I'm mainly just reading a bunch of books, and now I'm just tweeting about them, but also I'm holding up stacks of books on TikTok being like, I've read so many things. I just feel like I've read things, I have feelings, interact with me.
It's quality content, so
Thank you.
Sure, it'll be appreciated. Yes. You can find me on Twitter at Rachel Eiley, that's RACHELEILEY, and of course over on Tumblr at Canary at Law. And as always, you can find the show at Batwoman Podcast on Facebook and Twitter, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. If you want to give us a rating and review, that would be super appreciated. You can follow the entire DCTV podcast network, featuring epic podcasts for The Flash, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, Black Lightning, Titans, Doom Patrol, Batwoman, Stargirl, Superman and Lois, Green Lantern, as well as DCTV After Dark at DCTVpodcast.com. Follow the network on social media at DCTV Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And lastly, but not least, of course, subscribe to the Mega feed on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, and Google Play. And of course, DCTV Podcast has a TeePublic store with all sorts of cool, super cool DCTV/Arrowverse merchandise. So click on the link in the show notes, and when you buy something from the store, you help support the podcasting network. So, all right, friends, I guess that's it for now. We will, of course, be back soon to talk about all of the awesome things that are going to go forward over the season, and hopefully all the awesome stuff we're going to see next season. Not hopefully, definitely. It's happening.
Yeah.
We will be back soon.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Thanks, guys. Bye.